from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 17th is 15% off all wine and spirits and 25% off on thermometers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Niederhaus Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Niederhaus's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Niederhaus Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Niederhaus Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Crazy Monday, Manic Monday, Portal Monday. The Vortex is officially open. This is Old School. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We're the crew coming at you live from 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients of Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. DP, welcome back, young fella.
Where were you? What you talking about? Welcome back. You was gone. what part of the streets were you in?
Yeah, no, I don't do the streets, but I was close in close proximity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You know their eyes all over the city, Jay. So wherever Jay Foreman is, somebody see, and everybody got to tell. Everybody want. Hey, DP, I saw Jay. Man, stop it.
Yeah,
stop it. Leave that man alone.
I got a Doppelganger or whatever you call it.
No, we went through. Vegas was exceptional.
Yeah.
Shout out a few things. One, for the Huskers, they were man down in a 30-plus team tournament, losing one of your guys who couldn't go. 9 wrestlers, 10 weight classes. They finished second. Probably with the 10th wrestler, they win the whole tournament. They won the crowd game. Of course, Husker Nation traveled to Vegas, showed up 2 days, and I mean 16-plus hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
10 matches at a time.
Yeah.
And Jay, go with me here. When you know the people who are competing, you're more emotionally vested in it. And when they're fighting in their competition, it's emotional. Like if you're watching somebody in a fight, and it's a bunch of them, it was interesting. Shout out Antrell Taylor, Rich Lovett, Caleb Smith, Bubba Wilson, young Cam McDaniel, all the kids that have been through here. They showed up in force. Husker Nation showed up in full force. And it's kind of interesting that with 30 teams, whenever Nebraska wrestled, all the other teams gathered. They gathered to take notes, to measure up. Oklahoma State won the tournament. Shout out to the Cowboys. They've got a great squad. Virginia Tech, probably top 5 in the country. They showed up in full. And then, I'm covering UFC.
Yeah.
And I'm standing guard. I'm kind of watching, and I get a tap on the shoulder. And it's 3 of the Husker guys attending their first UFC event. And, I get a nice little swag bag of stuff when I go. And I made sure that the young Huskers got them, got the stuff. Because, I don't need no more stuff. But Jay, it's pretty cool to watch Husker Nation in other spaces kind of show up and rally. It's bowl game time too, so that's part of the conversation. Folks got to travel to New York. Vegas is a much easier trip than New York.
Yeah, there's a lot more straight flights.
It's
look, like UFC is a path for some wrestlers after they get done collegiately, and they have minor leagues and stuff like that where if you choose to go into go from wrestling to the combat game, it's something that maybe they could pique their interest and stuff. And it's good when you're there to go and see other stuff. And when you have a wrestling tournament or 30 teams, it brings back a feeling of when they were club wrestlers, where you get to go, and that's what it's bigger than 30 with some of the tournaments that they go to. So
crazy.
And Vegas is able to host multiple big events and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we've seen
Cowboy Christmas.
Yeah, we saw that with the Super Bowl.
It's Cowboy Christmas, Jay.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Hey, interesting thing that so it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So there's several events going on.
Right.
There's a technology convention, big time, and then in between wrestling and the Cowboy Christmas, and there were some real heavyweight cowboys in place. But there was a cannabis convention.
Oh yeah,
and
that's what I would went for.
Hey, let me tell you, everybody at all the conventions ended up at that convention.
Oh yeah, I gotta go see what's going on. I've never seen anything like that before. I had to go see what this cannabis stuff is. I gotta taste
I know you're unfamiliar. I know you're unfamiliar.
Hey man, I gotta go see what's going on. Make sure I'm doing it right.
You're a learner. And
the more you know,
student of the game.
The more you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And to shout out, a big part of covering this one was our dear friend Anthony Lionheart Smith. Was on the card, and Anthony unfortunately had lost his mentor.
Yeah, I saw that, man. That's tough. It was tough to watch, and
he Jay, even before the walkout, you could see it weighing, like it was on.
Yeah, he looked a lot different.
It was on him, and normally he comes out to Return of the Mac, right? That's his theme. Everybody knows. All right, the Lionheart party just started. But he came out to a different song, and everybody in the place, the whole energy changed. You knew that he was in a grind. You knew that he was fighting some other things other than his opponent. And it didn't go his way. But I want to shout out Anthony, because that dude In any other spectrum, you don't go to battle. You don't go in there because you know I'm not all here.
Right.
And this is the first, you're walking without your dude, and it's really tough. But he said, you know what? People who paid to be here, I get to do this.
Yeah.
I get to come out in front of a sellout crowd in Las Vegas. I threw my shots. Didn't go my way.
Yeah.
But Nebraska can be proud of having a top 10 performer in his weight class. He was, going into Saturday night, he was still top 10 in his weight class. So, and a great career, 59 fights, top 10 status, even as he steps away from it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nebraska's, their best.
Yeah.
Mixed martial artist.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's at any sport, it's, they're human. So, I mean, obviously for him to probably felt like to pay homage and honor his mentors, probably go out there and perform and not, let people down, but then also some way of potentially starting the healing process. So it was tough to see, but he's a grown man and he's got other options and he's, he's great for the sport. He's great for the state of Nebraska.
Well, he's still repping on ESPN.
Right. Yeah.
Every fight day he'll be on the panel. So
yeah, he's there. I mean, he's definitely, taking it, where it can be for him outside of the octagon. But, look, man, you just, at times like this, he probably needs to sit back and probably deal with the, loss of his friend or loss of his mentor and then, kind of decide what he wants to do. I mean, obviously he can't fight forever, so he understands that too. So you got to weigh the juice and the squeeze.
And what we know about him is that, one, we've had him on air and he's really good on air. ESPN agrees. He's on the panel, so he'll be on fight shows from here forward. He's got several podcasts, and I can say that we have negotiated with Anthony for him to do mixed martial art Nebraska sports podcast radio show for the ticket.
Yeah, I mean I've only met him twice. He's a good dude, solid dude, and really, really good in everything he does. So I think for him, he just needs to focus on what he needs to focus on. I mean, it's tough, and it's just unfortunately part of it, and it's no different than Trent Williams. He lost a child, he hasn't been back yet, but it's affected the whole team, and so it's everybody's human, and it's tough, and and he for him it's no different, but he had to just be on the main stage in a huge event. But
well, you say it, you there's certain sports, certain competitions you can't fake. You can't fake football.
Yeah, you can't go in there. There's no brother-in-law in the UFC because because his opponent has a job to do. It's a job.
His career's on the line,
right? So you can't go in there and fake the funk, and so everybody knows you got to do what you got to do. Unfortunately, and then when time calls, and so it's as many times as where they look at boxing and. Guys get these magical cuts and sparring, and then don't be able to put on a performance. He was able to go out there and put on a pretty good performance, considering all things considered. So, anyways, good weekend. We'll take a quick break. Come back. Scott Frost is back. He's doing his David Goggins. He's back there in Orlando. Give some thoughts on that. Got college football playoffs. Who's made it? Nick Saban and Bama is out, or Bama's out. Not Nick Saban. Some other teams, and look forward to see want your guys' thoughts on what's the best matchup and what matchup would you pay to go see, because there's some interesting ones, and some teams leveled up this last weekend, and some stayed pat. Old sneaky Dabo. Hey, he snuck in there right when you get to do revenue share. He said, "You know what? I told you I don't have to be paying no money NIL. I'm just gonna do revenue share. We'll be all good." Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through December 15th, enjoy thick-cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound. Boneless beef crock-pot roast for $4.99 per pound. Plus, they're now taking orders for prime rib, filet mignon, and other holiday items. And don't forget the $50 holiday box, now through Christmas. Always a great gift. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
It's year-end tax saving season, and Acres is offering extraordinary buyer incentive programs. Get 20% off select late model John Deere large ag equipment. And with a special 24-month interest waiver, you can upgrade your fleet and save even more. Visit your local Acres store or go to acres.com to choose from the widest selection of John Deere tractors, combines, planters, and sprayers. Act now. Incentives expire December 31st, 2024. Financing program, subgroup credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with breezy northwest winds and a high around 51. Tonight, partly cloudy with a continued breeze in the low near 24. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies will be breezy with a chance of flurries late and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, We know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School crew. A lot going on, obviously, in college football. Obviously, college football playoffs is set. Conference championship weekend. The final 12 is set. Some people got their feelings hurt. Some people didn't. But just be right when you thought you could just, focus on who didn't get in and who did and how they got in and where they're seated and who gets a bye, so forth and so on, who has the easy path, who has a hard path to being the first national champion in the 12-team playoff. Scott Frost was named the head coach at Central Florida, which is a little interesting because they somehow became known that they offered it to Lincoln Riley. I think that was a smokescreen to make it look like they were serious, to make the job look more appealing.
Is there any shot there's a smokescreen from Lincoln Riley's people?
No. He don't have it. He's not in a position to do anything like that. But Lincoln Riley has options. He's potentially could be linked to the Chicago Bears because of Caleb Williams, obviously, with his connection with him, obviously with The Bachelor as well. But for Scott Frost, he popped up and he was an analyst or whatever for the Rams, where he did a little bit of everything, which I think was good to get back in the scheme of things, learn to, from Sean McVay or be in meetings and see how he runs, organization. Because if he ever had a thought, which obviously came true, to coach college football again, or, not the pros, but college football again, it's essentially just like a little mini version of an NFL team. And it changed ever since he was let go at Nebraska. So, look, man, it's, Scott, it's the same thing when I said when Scott got the job. Scott, if he stays out of his own way, he'll be just fine. And there's a lot of parts to it.
You just said a whole lot.
Because it's the truth.
You just.
I think the biggest thing is it's always weird. Is like when I don't think he would mention Nebraska. Like, bro, like people in Nebraska need to get over, unfortunately, that Scott's tenure, and so does he.
It was always the other place I went.
Hey, man, I understand it didn't work out. It's embarrassing. Everybody was hopeful. It sucked. There was a lot of factors. There's a big factor that he couldn't control. And that's, that should give you some, like, what is it?
Some closure,
some closure, not closure, but then also say, listen, what happened, whether people believed in COVID or not, it was a national pandemic or a worldwide pandemic, and football was shut down at the worst time possible for Nebraska. That is not, you cannot deny that. That is 100% factual. Now, there's all the other factors, whether you want to bring in not being able to kick off against Akron as a reason why it led to okay, I don't believe that, but the shutdown hurt Nebraska probably more than any blue blood out there, by my guesstimation. Now, there was other factors to it, and I think the biggest thing for him, whether all the factors to it, whether you could say no support with the administration, you could say the fans, the players, not enough time, all that you could put here. And then once or if he says and recognizes whether he thinks they had a small part of it, or medium part of it, and a big part of it, whatever it is, long as he comes to terms with that and rectifies that, he'll be just fine down there.
Yeah, but he has no intention of doing it.
You asked me how he could be successful. That's how.
I find it fascinating.
Now it doesn't have to be overnight though. There'll be some point. It has to be quicker, sooner than later. It can't be 10 years from now because he won't be coaching down there. It's got to be within the next year or two. You got to at least put it to bed. It's not easy to put it to bed. It's not, because you got to think, his parents went here. His parents were both great athletes here at the University of Nebraska. He's from here. There was a lot of pressure, whether it was justified or not, and it didn't work out. Did he handle the situation probably the best? No. Did other things go into the factor that for it not to work? Sure. Now I know he ain't gonna take none of my advice because he ain't listened to me when I was down there. He ain't gonna listen to me now. But I could tell you right now as a teammate. You don't even forget being friends. I can just tell you as a teammate. You got to rectify what happened or come to terms with it. And then number two, and take me out of it because I'm cool with it because the relationship ain't been I ain't really talked to him before. I ain't gonna talk to him afterwards, right? And that's fine. But there's some guys, along with myself, but some guys more that willingly put their reputation and stuff online for you that they ain't heard from you since you left. You get what I'm saying? So how does that affect your wins and losses? It's the process of how you deal with what is the Austin? What it's how you're dealing with it's not even conflict.
It's how you deal with success. It's how you deal with
right.
failure. It's how you deal with adversity. It's how you deal with
you could go down there
success,
and go. You can go down there next year, be 9-3.
But
you can go 10. You can go 10-2, right? And then somehow, some way, you go 6-6. You're going to have to deal with conflict right then, right? Or you could be 6-7 years down there, and like Glenn Mason, which DP, I don't know if you're familiar with Glenn Mason. He's up in Minnesota, kind of like PJ Fleck, constantly 8-9 wins, bowl game 10 wins. Jerry Kill, more recent history. What they say wasn't good enough. So you have to have conflict resolution. That's the two things that he probably needs to do to set himself up to be a better coach and a better leader in that situation. It's leadership.
Yeah, that part, like leadership, accountability has to be a part of it.
Well, that's it. If you rectify some of the things, that's like you don't have to say, "Hey, it's all my fault." Say, "Hey, look, dude. Hey, I appreciate what you did. Didn't work out. You know." I was going through. You don't even have to call people now because before you would have to call people.
Well, but
now you could just send a text or an email.
If you're not going to call your boys, guys that you've battled with, fought with, right? Guys that had your back when we know that in this environment there are people with knives and rocks.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the people that had your back, whether they were right or wrong in doing so, you haven't admitted to the fact that guess what? There were people who knew that things weren't good,
right,
and still had my back,
right.
And if you don't have their back, that's a statement of you, as you say. That's a choice.
Yeah,
that's a choice.
And it could be, hey, you run into somebody. Hey, dude, let me holler at you real quick. You know, you ain't got to be a long conversation because if you ain't talked to them by now, you ain't friends with them. I mean, don't misinterpret it. Nobody, we don't need to be your friend, right? I mean, it's cool. But it's not about it's about those people, and there's a lot of them, right? But it's not because the same things that you would have to deal with back here, it's gonna come eventually.
Well, wherever you go, there you are.
I mean, understand it because you're not gonna go to UCF and just win 10 games every year. I mean, if you are
not in that Big 12 conference, that's a dang good conference.
Well, it's a different conference now.
Yeah, but then if you do, then you're going to have to go get another big job. So then you're going to be right back in the pressure cooker that you were here. So then again, you're going to have to face it some point in time. And
one of the great traits of coaches is in their evolution, they learn. Right. They learn. They accept they carry accountability, and they learn from their mistakes.
Sure.
Right? I mean, and I'm not reaching. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have skin in the game when it comes to it. Right. I'm just a spectator watching how coaches and organizations process. I would ask a greater question, and that's for either of you. You're the athletic director at that program. Are you hiring Scott Frost?
Well,
I mean, and I think that's a fair. And I think
that's a fair question.
That's a fair question.
Well, the answer is obviously they already did, but
right, and it's not loaded, right? It's not a loaded.
I think if they talk to him enough, and there's people there that know that was there when he was there, so they have a better experience with him than here. That you could see why, if the interview process went well, because you could say, all right, and during that interview process, he said, listen, this is why I was successful at UCF. This is what I did wrong here. This is how I'm actually going to take my lesson learned, good, bad, or indifferent from Nebraska. And this is how I'm going to get UCF back to back to where we're at, and then then you can do it.
Being a fly on the wall for that interview would have been interesting because
so
I
good.
would tell you that
so good.
My gut would tell me not to hire Scott Frost back to UCF. I get the temptation. I get why they would do it. It's a huge personal and professional risk for Scott. It is. The place where he's had the most success in his college career, to go back, if it doesn't work out, I mean, yeah, maybe you weren't on the best terms when you left, but I think it could, end up torpedoing his legacy a little bit if it doesn't go well. Now, he's not thinking about that, right? So from the AD's perspective, I need to talk with, like it sounds like they did, a lot of other people who were around at the time that knew him when he was there. What characteristics made him successful at Central Florida the first time? Are those still in place? What went wrong for him at Nebraska? Do we believe that he's worked on that and changed it? Because what Scott Frost can't do is walk in there and afford to play the hits, right? It's like you said, Jay, it's a different college football landscape. What you did the first time, you need to figure out which parts worked then and can work now, and which parts you need to leave back in 2017. Because if he just tries to play the hits and do the same stuff he did back in the day, odds are good you're not going to be successful. And then it's really UCF, you view yourself as this up-and-coming program, and you just went back to your ex. We thought you could do better.
Right.
If it works out, more power to him. Great, you found a right fit. He's comfortable. You're comfortable. Makes sense. It's unfortunate he had to leave all along, but you understand him needing to give Nebraska a try.
I think also you can't minimize the fact that he was under McVay. I'm sure McVay and the GM up there, probably gave him a good, recommendation that will put a athletic director at ease. And if McVay is saying, listen, this is what I've seen from him. This is what I've helped him with. This is what he wanted to do. This is part of the reason why we wanted him to be a part of our staff. That probably would, at least in the short term, would do it. But I think, time will tell. I mean, I think also he has to set the realistic expectations. Look, we're not going to go 12-0 every year. So in college football, it's changed. He's got to probably be clear in that, like I said, he has to have his blueprint, what's successful or what success is. Then he has to get the players, quote unquote, the buy-in, but they set forth the culture. It's a little bit easier, not only because of the conference, but over the recruiting base, and then also the talent on the team right now. That's a talented team that just lost their way. So it's set up again to maybe be instant successes, which is 6 or plus more games in his first year.
And I think Gus Malzahn might have had one foot out the door, right? There's a reason he probably wanted to take a step back, right? To go to Florida State and be the offensive coordinator, do the Chip Kelly thing. But I also think that there's some big picture, I don't say irony might not be the right phrase, but think about Sean McVay and his journey. Boy genius, wunderkind on the way up, takes the Rams to the Super Bowl. Sean McVay humbled in that Super Bowl against the Patriots. One of the most unwatchable Super Bowls of all time. But Sean McVay was my system, my way or the highway. Jared Goff, you failed me. What happened to Sean McVay after that? How can I get better? What can I do better? How can I get better people around me? And I'm not going to say there's all of that with Scott Frost, but I think the hot shot that gets humbled and then gets a second crack at it, I think there's some big picture similarities there that maybe Sean McVay saw some of himself in Scott Frost and was a good mentor for him for the short time he was in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously coaches know how hard the business is, and that how you can sometimes get off track and all that stuff. So if the coach is wanting to come in and look to come in and be willing to, a lot of head coaches want to go and take a low level job, and he I think he helped with special teams and defense, and probably was able to peek his head into some of the offensive stuff. You got that goes a long way. So the best. Look, man, it's you don't ever wish not success for, you want to be successful. I'll keep an eye on it, but I ain't going to be up here like all these people up there trying to do weekly updates like you did with Kenzie Melton what's his name?
Mackenzie Milton
and all that. I ain't got time. That's we don't need to be doing that. I think it's a chapter, hopefully always to get closed. He's moved on. Nebraska's moved on, and you just hope he, is successful. But by no means was his arm being pulled to come here. No means. And he broke bread. You did so. I think those are the things he needs to come to terms to, even if it's internally. You know what I'm saying? There's some iconic dudes that if you look at it, I'm way down here. I'm talking about the dude.
Inner circle.
Well, no, in Nebraska history.
That's what I'm saying.
That went to bat for him. You don't be up there like the snipering that dude.
Well, but can I ask the question from the outside looking in? What did we learn about Scott Frost and Nebraska? What did we learn about that tenure? Like, did we learn? Because everybody will tell you that programs have to learn from the lessons, right?
Right.
What did we learn?
You learned a lot. I mean, it was different. You didn't really get a true. You couldn't really say you learned like everything you could because of COVID or whatever you want.
But there were programs that succeeded, elevated, and prospered during the last.
Right, but they had a better base in that time. So they were as far as winning before that. So they were more equipped to send 150 kids home and they would be fine. They had a more winning culture. He was coming in starting and never got out of start. Now there's things he could have done. I'm not absolving him by no means. I'm just saying for them. You also learn as we've seen that there's a assumption, or the I guess people think that Nebraska can sometimes, bite at their own kneecaps, like for Dan Campbell. You saw a little bit of that. You've seen a little bit of everything. Now, how everybody rectifies that is understand you got to recognize it, then you got to make sure you don't do it again. And so, time will tell. What lessons has he learned? And if he gets in that situation again or those situations again, and if able to go to another program and build him up, then then it'd be more on us. But ultimately, his time here is everybody was hopeful. It was the hire that it would seem like a match made in heaven. There was not one. You could not find a person that said this isn't the perfect time for him to come. You can't generally. It just didn't work out, man. It'd be tough. I mean, it'd be like, I don't know. I guess I didn't grow up in Miami. I guess it was, I don't know. I don't know, but it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is what I know. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that a lot of people in this business or in that business of coaching would have never been able to get an opportunity, even if they were successful. So that's probably the biggest thing. Right, I guess in that point where that's also part of it as well.
Interesting times, like I said. Just again, no skin in the game. I can look at it and being independent. I don't have to have the answers when it comes to Scott Frost and Nebraska football. I don't.
No, there is an answer.
But the mission is to but my mission is to become smarter about it. And I keep coming up with these questions. I keep saying you can identify a program, a coach in the program by the number of questions about it. And there's so many questions that not only existed, but still exist about it actually existing.
Yeah.
And then for a program to go, if Jay called me and said, "Hey man, I'm getting together with my first girlfriend," I'd be like, "You good?"
To be honest with you, I would say
that didn't end well, bro.
I would say this though. I would say this before we go to break. I think the decision he made wasn't that hard, but I would say it wasn't that easy. You got to think that's the first place that he accepted to take the job, because he's had other offers. He could have went to Colorado State. He went down there. He had he went to the bowl game or won 6 games the first year. Then he won. He obviously went undefeated. So it would be hard to kind of leave a situation like that. And I know they were really, really good to him. I mean, I know they were. They weren't, involved in the Big 12. So they didn't, they overextended themselves to kind of, give them that kind of like contract extension. Then obviously Nebraska was able to kind of come in and obviously, double that. So, I could see, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't take that job. I think if he's ready for it.
I'm more curious about why they offered. That if somebody broke up with you to go back to their ex.
But you'd have to understand. I mean, that's a little harsh right there. But the dynamics of taking this job, you got to think, DP, his parents went here. He's from here.
Yeah.
It's a place that he won national championship.
His dad wasn't doing the best. Wanted to get back home and spend time with them.
And you got to also think, part of the reason that he's the coach at UCF is based on what he did on the field here.
Understand that.
So UCF had to understand where they were. So the scar tissue from that isn't as much. Now it's just more or less after what happened. That's probably the question, not the initial decision. It's the initial option. I would say.
Yeah.
It might be right. I mean,
all of it's interesting. It's interesting soup. Like I
think I'm telling you. I think if he could take the approach that Lane Kiffin took at FAU, if he takes that approach, I'm a coach. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna be a little bit more outgoing. He could make a comeback. If you know what I'm saying, because you got to think the way Lane ended them 2-3 places. You could. Hey, when they catch you on the tarmac, when you get out the plane and say, "Listen, man, you ain't getting no peanuts, no popcorn. You got to go." That's the lowest of the lows, and Lane is able to come back. So you can't say that he can't.
It's an interesting story. It's an interesting story.
Well, if there's people out there could do 30 for 30 on it.
I'm all for it.
Anyway, we'll take a quick break. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 17th is 15% off all wine and spirits and 25% off on thermometers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Niederhaus Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Niederhaus's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Niederhaus Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Niederhaus Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1003769, $395 per month lease with 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to assigning, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See blue for details.
With
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
It's year-end tax saving season, and Acres is offering extraordinary buyer incentive programs. Get 20% off select late model John Deere large ag equipment. And with a special 24-month interest waiver, you can upgrade your fleet and save even more. Visit your local Acres store or go to acres.com to choose from the widest selection of John Deere tractors, combines, planters, and sprayers. Act now. Incentives expire December 31st, 2024. Financing program, subproof credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. Short segment here before we get back to the 5 o'clock hour. We got tons of text. We'll read the text. Yes, I do know that COVID was in Scott's third year. What I'm saying is, and that's the year that you'd like to think that you're going to make a move with the youngest team in the nation. It's not going to work. Hey, look, man, whether it's Bo Pelini, Scott Frost, firing or Frank Solich, if you're a head coach at Nebraska, it's a lightning rod. Everybody's going to have their opinion, especially when it doesn't work out, because you have a lot of people that still, believe in Scott. And so, ultimately he gets a chance to go down there and look, he's still young in the coaching, the aspect of coaching. He's 49 years old. So if he wants, he can coach at a major, college level for, everything goes right for another, 15 to 20 years. So he has a lot of time ahead of him. So he's got to make sure he uses his time wisely and, try to put his best foot forward. There's a lot of scar tissue there, and, time will tell if it, if it's healed, and then he can move forward and do it. I'm sure it's a chapter in his life and stuff he wants to kind of forget. It's no different than I'll tell you this, man. One of the best young announcers that they got on is Greg Olson. Trust me, the 7th floor crew down there in Miami, he has put that to bed by addressing it. Right? He did address it like a grown man, and he addressed it as a grown man that it's not asked of him again. And so, is it to the magnitude of coaching Miami? But no, in his life, it's a big magnitude. And so that's a good example of how you can do it. We got your boy Babaloo in here. He says, we learn don't hire Husker. Right. I'm going to say this before we go. That's stupid, man. And I don't mean to call you stupid. That's just, you know what? I'll backtrack stupid. I just think that's low hanging fruit and easy and lazy way to think. Just because you played here doesn't mean that you're a certain type of person. Mm-hmm. That's
especially because there's such a wave.
It's a wave, but it's no. That's the same mentality of the 90s. Let me tell you something. When you watch Georgia, you just watching the same team that we played. They played just like we played. Kirby coaches not as boisterous as Coach Osborne. That's Coach McBride. That's exactly what we did. Alabama, exactly what we did.
You guys make the 96 playoff too if it's 12 teams. So.
Here's the hypothetical that fits that narrative and that question. I know how much this fan base loves Ndamukong Suh. And if he came out and said, you know what? I want to be next after Matt Rule, whenever that is. I want to be next.
He'd get a shot.
Right? He'd be considered, right?
Yeah. They wouldn't have a problem with him being D-line coach or something.
Well, if he said, listen, but I want to run it because I know what it means to be a Husker. I know what it means to sweat blood and tears here. Folks would listen.
Oh, it'd be good media stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but
I just need to throw that out there.
Oh, they pick and choose.
Yeah. Okay.
They pick and choose.
Okay.
They pick and choose.
All right.
Don't run away from success. Embrace it. It won't hurt you. I promise you, Babaloo, it will not hurt you. Okay. It will. You still sleep nice and cozy at night, knowing the fabric of winning. It will not hurt you. You would actually be very pleased with the field.
Austin, for Wednesday, can you come up with by position the Husker coaches that you would put in play? right? So quarterback's coach, running back's coach, receivers coach, tight end coach, defensive like. Can you come up with that?
You got to pick VJ.
Well, but
I got it.
You see the look on his face.
You wouldn't hear from VJ. VJ had the nerve to tell me that he could outrun me. He could run me over today.
Today?
Yeah, he was posting.
What, he put in his coffee?
He was posting the video of him against Nick in the knocker ball.
Yeah.
And 49-year-old Rashawn bowled over 21-year-old Nick Sainert, and he put it all over social media. And I was like, calm down.
There it is.
Calm down.
Anyway,
Jay, we'll take you and Austin come up with your list.
Oh yeah. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break. Come back. We're gonna jump into this portal. We're gonna do.
Not me. I'm not jumping in. I like where I'm at.
We're gonna jump into this portal because as fast as it opened, there's guys that made decisions. We're gonna talk about the portal because it's open officially today. Give a count, which has probably gone up since we started because it was at 15.
5:51 as of 11 o'clock Central.
Okay, let's see what it is right now. But we'll take a quick break. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back. There's been a couple.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full-service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
It's year-end tax saving season, and Acres is offering extraordinary buyer incentive programs. Get 20% off select late model John Deere large ag equipment. And with a special 24-month interest waiver, you can upgrade your fleet and save even more. Visit your local Acres store or go to acres.com to choose from the widest selection of John Deere tractors, combines, planters, and sprayers. Act now. Incentives expire December 31st, 2024. Financing program, approved credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
This holiday season, give yourself the ultimate gift, self-care and peace of mind. We know the holidays can bring stress, but did you know that managing that stress is key to your heart health? High blood pressure and heart disease can be impacted during this busy time. In fact, heart attacks are more common during the holidays. So take a moment for yourself. Breathe, relax, and prioritize your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We're the Old School crew coming at you live 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients of Butcher Shop. The Butcher Shop is off the chain. Single serving sizes, family serving sizes, pasta, any type of meat, any type of cut. Go in there and ask them what's up. Lot of traction here with Scott Frost. He said we'll just go from top to bottom. He says, here's the thing: Nebraska didn't wrong Scott Frost. Nebraska paid him handsomely, gave him an opportunity to succeed. Scott Frost wronged Nebraska. There's not one true Husker fan that didn't want him to work out. We can still love the guy, want him the best for him, but we don't have to trust him. Hope he does well at UCF. That's probably the most mature text that we've had. Let's see. Oh, this is the baseball, but let's see where else is it. Yeah, Danico says right here. He says COVID was not the issue because Scott's first season was 2018 and we sucked along 19 prior to COVID. Scott, arrogance and ego doing it from the start and went undefeated at UCF fed that. There's a little bit of truth. There's some truth to that. Brad from Baldwin says that Scott wasn't a Nebraskan. He probably wouldn't have got the job. Another one.
Are we so sure? Florida wanted Scott too.
I tend to believe that the Scarlet and Cream behind Scott helped move the needle towards Scott. Scott as
Definitely
a coach, just as a coach at UCF, that's not normally the pool Nebraska's fishing in. Like that, their eyes don't go to that program to find their next thing. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, here's another one. Says if he wins, why try to level up? Why not stay where you're at? I think it would have to be like Oregon or something like that, where he is very familiar with because Oregon's off the beaten path. You're kind of up there in the Great Northwest. It's not a little. It's a lot secluded. I could see him going there. I could see him staying at UCF for a very long time, as long as they're having success that both the athletic department and football department and himself is okay with. I don't think he's going to jump for a big job. I don't really think it was a huge jump to go from you. I will push back and say that this job was too big for him. I just think if you do whatever you did to make you successful at UCF, you would have just do it here and maybe do it just a little bit, better and longer and hard. You know what I mean? It's it just didn't work out. I wouldn't say, if I was him, I wouldn't be like, I'm not going to another big job because I wasn't successful at Nebraska. That's the part I keep saying. If you use that as the crutch, you'll never be successful to your maximum capabilities at UCF, because you have to recognize what went wrong, what went okay, and what was actually good here. You have to. And then when you do that, then you can make a better decision. Am I mentally and spiritually ready to go take on a big stage again? Am I more mature, or whatever you want to call it? Then you can do it. If you don't think you are, then you probably need to work on that and be at UCF. But I'm telling you, if you have success at UCF, you will be on the front line. Because if you're successful at UCF, if you were winning 10 games and possibly things in the aura around the Big 12 changes, you're in the mix. So you're going to be in front of the camera. You're going to have the expectations. You're going to be pulled in 50 different directions. UCF is going to be on a bigger stage. So, it can happen at the same place, even though it's technically a smaller program. You can definitely be up there because it's not Boise where you're off the beaten path. You're right down there in Orlando. You're easy pickings for people to get there.
Well, Boise's off the beaten path, but Boise's also one of the more famous underdog Cinderellas in college football. UCF did it for 3 years. Boise's done it for, going on 30, at least 20.
Yeah.
25. So if,
I don't think they're in the same place.
No, they're not. But you don't have the excuse of being little anymore. You're in the Big 12, right?
Yeah.
You want to be a big boy program. You asked for this. You got to act like a big boy program.
Well, but okay, so new rules, as Jay said, new rules.
Yeah.
Right? New rules. 105 means new rules.
Yeah.
NIL means new rules. Transfer portal, new rules. New money, new exposure, new consultants, new analysts, new ledger, mystery ledgers, being bought out by large franchises, organizations to pay money for you to do that. Okay, fine. Now, you're promised of the 105 best times 131 that you get your portion of those players. They can't be stockpiled by any group. They can't be, you can't hoard them. You can't do anything. That of the top 13,000 players in America, you get your share. And you get your fair share, right? Balanced or otherwise. Same money. Capped and otherwise. Like we're gonna have ledgers now, right? Same coaches. So if you're coaching UCF, you will have the same resources as Nebraska, Florida, Georgia, etc.
Yeah, if you feel it, that's
if you feel it, right? If you feel it, right now it's up to you.
Now if they feel it, it's up to
100%.
Yeah.
Indiana, another case in point. That listen, even on an equal playing field, an unequal playing field, we can still achieve the same thing you're achieving.
Right.
And now with a balanced playing field, I feel like you should be able to coach anybody to the level. Now, we know that these schools will be divided into thirds.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't really think there are that many good football players out there.
Well, but think about
That's
that.
That's the honest God truth. I'm just letting you know.
Well,
there's not that many good football players out there. So the 105, there's going to be teams that are successful without the 105 field.
Are there 500 really good quarterbacks in America? Collegiate quarterbacks, right?
No.
Right? So then you say, okay, are there 125 great quarterbacks in America?
Not at college.
Right? So the top third will get the elite 11.
Yeah.
And then the regional best, right, which will put you at 44, right? North, south, east, west. I mean, generally in that space, you can make that 66 quarterbacks if you go regional, Midwest, et cetera.
Yeah.
Same for running backs. That we know that there are probably 80 decent running backs in America. Then the elite, the top third of that, you're in space. But remember, we're still going to swing and miss anyway. Because, I don't know, Boise State's got a dude appearing for the Heisman that wasn't given that access by the elite folks.
Yeah.
Like, so we know that. And Nebraska proves that you can get one of the top 10 quarterbacks if you use the system for how it works. So now nobody has an excuse. Nebraska's paying $9 million a year to a head coach. Everybody can pay that amount of money if that's what they so choose to do, if that's the priority. Now there's no excuse. There's no excuse for UCF. There's no excuse for Boise. There's no excuse for Vanderbilt. There's no excuse for anybody in the space. Everybody's got an opportunity to get good. And if you don't, as Jay Foreman says, it's a choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing the landscape. I think just, when you look at it, like Nebraska's carried a huge roster for forever. There's benefits to it. Then there's, some negatives to it. It could be chaos on the sidelines. I just think it really is going to come down to, everybody's talking about the 105. It's going to really come down to top 60 players.
But it always does, right? It always has.
But this is even more because your top 60, and 60 might be too much. I'm just saying those top 60 players are going to be the ones that play. So what you can't do is, I always go back to Georgia, and you can even look at Ohio State when they had J.T. Barrett, they had Joe Burrow, and then they had the
Cardell.
Oh, Cardell too, but the young guy they got
Haskins.
Haskins. You're not going to be able to stockpile 5-star at one position, especially at quarterback when one guy plays. Georgia, when you recruit Justin Fields, and the reason I keep going about it, because I got to talk to his dad about it. And then you got the quarterback there, Jake Fromm, that's there, that was going into a sophomore year, and things don't work out. And then remember, they had a quarterback coming after Justin Fields that played with Fromm's junior year. So really, it's going to come down to roster management. There's going to be always a ton of turnover, just because that's the way kids are these days. It's going to be a yearly thing. And however you construct your roster, you just got to make sure, and 60 is probably too much, but you got to just say those top 60 guys. We got to make sure we get most of those guys that bought into our system, that have good culture. So really, you're going to do a lot of background checks, because guys are going to be coming and going, because it's kind of just, it's a free for all. So, and then if you can construct that, like that second tier from that 40, so you got 45 left. So you can, and 20 might be too much. Some guys that you got in the shelf that and they know, and they're okay with developing in your program, that they can leapfrog into that, top 60 with a year or two. That's good. But then you're that bottom part of it is going to be, I wouldn't say your taxi squad, but that's where it's going to be extremely fluid. Well,
but I mean, this is where, when we talk about the 105, I think we're missing the layup. That you have to figure out from that 105 where the positions and the numbers fall.
Yeah, it changes. It's going to change every year,
right? That from this thing, you can't carry next year. You're not going to be able to carry 20 receivers and 20 defensive backs.
No,
right? There's no way that's going to happen. You also need to understand that your bottom 45, because 5 have to be specialists,
sure,
and a quarterback, right? So you need 2 kickers, 2 punters, and a quarterback, and you have to be prepared in case injury happens, right? So there's that. Then you've got 100 players, 50 on the side, depending on who the coach is and who's got swing on that particular roster. But then you understand the difference between having 10 offensive linemen versus having 17 offensive linemen. Like now that number might be, remember, 5 to start, 5 as the backup, and then you still got to have practice. You got to have practice players who line up against your number 1 defense. Otherwise, you're going to burn out your top group, and you'll burn out the second group, because not only are they repping in preparing for a game, they have to rep for the opposing team in practice and on film.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be practice. How you practice and being in shape is going to be just as important, whoever's on your roster. You cannot afford to have anybody not in tip-top shape, because you have to be able to practice at a premium in efficiency that you can't wait for anybody. That's why it's,
and you have to be able to play.
Well,
you have to be able to contribute now.
Well, that's all going to take care of itself if you're doing what I just said before, because you're not going to be able to go 3 different stations because you don't have that many kids, right? and you're not going to be able to throw guys in. You're not going to be able to go five deep at a guard position.
Especially under the rule principle that we coach through reps. Everybody gets the same amount of reps.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
That's why you're saying
that part.
You're going to have to be able. You're going to have to be able to do your preparation reps, and then also the guys that aren't going to be playing. So that's where I don't know what the rules would be, but that's where your development coaches have to be very good. They have to have experience. They have to be able to, just in case, have Austin ready. Maybe not to start, but say DP gets elevated. Say I'm out for a while. DP gets elevated. I need you to take his spot. That's gonna be the most important thing. How you divvy up that, and then you could have a really good class, and you might get a couple guys from the development part of your roster that jump into your defensive line. So your defensive line transfer portal wants in high school for that year, that percentage goes down. So, now you might need some more receivers. So you're going to be able to house a couple of those.
And remember,
you just have to be very efficient with it.
There will be virtually two new coordinators, several new coaching group leaders. So remember, the veteran aspect only applies to their ability to accept and consume all new verbiage or some new verbiage, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole new install level. The transfer portal is telling us that a lot of the people with experience are going to leave. That means you got to bring new people in who have to get acclimated, and they have to hit the ground running, right? And it's simple time. Also, you're talking about hitting the ground running for the Big Ten, which, I don't know, you got folks in the playoffs, 4 of them, that are sitting at the top of this thing in the country with another 3 who are mad they weren't included, right? So you have to, all of those things. It's going to be one heck of an offseason.
Is there any shot that in the next couple of years, college football takes a page out of the NFL's playbook and says, you dress 70 on the road, you dress 70 overall, and then that next 35 is practice squad?
You can do that. But you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen is that really, if they do that, that works better for Nebraska because Nebraska financially can handle it. There's going to be some schools that financially cannot handle it. And also a bigger thing is this is where Nebraska, if everything goes right, can really make up a lot of ground. That $20.5 million is spread out through all sports. So if you're at a if you're at a school where football is not number one like it is here, well, your revenue share is a little bit different. So you're able to possibly pluck some guys just from being able to get, on a supposed even playing field. Our playing field is a little bit better. So I just think that it's the 105 and how you manage the 105, how you manage practicing, how you manage off season, because you have to make sure that everybody's healthy, but also you got to make sure everybody's ready. So you can't afford to have any type of conversations that Jay Foreman comes in, he ain't out of shape or he's out of shape. That just cannot happen.
We had
you
two
can't keep
off
them.
season.
And you can't
We had
keep
at least 2 of them last
But
off.
you can't. That cannot happen.
Yeah.
That's because you have to be able to practice at a rate of speed for shorter periods of time that's just as efficient as if you're able to go for everybody get, like DP said, everybody gets a rep. No, there is no, everything is fourth. Now, when I talk about everything is 4th and 1, oh yeah, it's 4th and 1. It's on. There is no off switch. This is 365 24/7. So if you're not invested in it 365 24/7, you're number one, you might get here, you getting left. Next conversation you had, you're going to be out of town, because now the pool of guys that would be willing to do it has now went up to like 3 or 4 times of it. There's going to be 20,000 kids in the portal.
And you're still going to compete, because if you're a part of somebody's 105, you're not a part of everybody's 105. And they may not think that, hey, just because Nebraska thinks you're one of the best 105, we do. That's not the case. If we said the NFL carries 53, and we're talking about 105, let's say 106 for the sake of discussion. Let's just double the numbers that NFL rosters work off of, so they have enough players to dress out, compete at the highest level.
Right.
You're talking about 4 quarterbacks of the 105. 4.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking about 6 or 7 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Fullbacks, if you use them, cut into that other number, but they cut into tight end numbers, right? So normally there's 3 tight ends. So you would imagine 6 on the 105.
Depends on your offense.
On what you use, right? That you normally carry 6 wide receivers. 12 is the number, right? If you double it, 12 wide receivers. That includes kick returners, special teams players, etc. On the offensive line, 9. So there are huge numbers on both offensive and defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between 17 and 20 players out of the 105.
Yeah.
And linebacker and edge, another combination of some variants, but 12 linebackers, again, covering special teams, different positions. And if you run a unique defense, it has to match those numbers. 10 cornerbacks, maybe 11. 10 quarterbacks, maybe safeties, or maybe 11. Again, special teams being a big part of that. And then 5 special teams players, 2 kickers, and then 2 punters in a combo. Somebody who can do both to fill in if he's your best guy.
Yeah, I mean, right now, when you talk about being position flexible, if I was a athlete, you've made yourself some money.
Long snappers.
Everything.
Right.
If you have flexibility to play stack linebacker, on the ball linebacker, hand in the ground, up on your feet, pass rusher, safety, that you could play both safety positions. You could kick down and play a dime or nickel linebacker. The corners that can play outside or bump into the slot. You just made yourself some money.
And to think, now again, if you're talking about 18 offensive linemen, your bottom 8 have work, right? Because they scout team, get better, grow, freshmen, learn the system, etc. Right? Defensive line, same thing in place. Receivers, you got 12 receivers. And that's to run every route for both home and opponent every week.
You got to be efficient, man. like the intensity of the walkthroughs, the intensity of your offseason training has just went up times 10.
Your 5th quarterback is a scout team quarterback,
and you better give me the best look.
And he has to match the opponent.
You better.
So quarterbacks 4 and 5, one's a runner, one's a passer. Like, that's just the way.
Yeah.
You better have it.
Yeah.
Unless
you want to take a receiver back there, but ultimately,
right.
You gotta plan your roster for, like I said, those guys that you're playing or that are playing, that 60 guys. And I included the specialists in there, and then you got to take the guys that that are going to be helping on the scout team. But those, just because you're on a scout team, you actually have a little bit harder duty. You got to make sure you give the best look. But then also you got to be ready to play.
You got to know what we do.
Right.
You got to know what we do.
So you got to make sure that you're doing it, man. So we're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to look at this Vortex. The former Husker is rated number 1 by 24/7. I'm going to tell you who works quick in the portal. Lane Kiffin has to work now we know he tampers. He works the quickest in the portal of anybody.
Joey Freshwater would never.
Anybody.
Ever.
He and listen. The portal ain't been open 24 hours. He got two lineman commits, one on offense, one defense, 100%. Identify and get them committed. But anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 17th is 15% off all wine and spirits and 25% off on thermometers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and O'Chaney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars. With the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, it's been a while since we talked. Hey, what's the latest news at Honda of Lincoln?
It has been a while, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy Honda Days is in full swing, and we have over 200 new Hondas in stock right now, ready for our customers to drive home.
Wow, that's the most you've had in a long time.
It is, Charlie. And we have great lease offers and financing from just 0.9% APR.
Hey, Andy, let me tell them about the pre-owned. They have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, with financing from 3.9% APR available. Incredible deals on new and used during Happy Honda Days, or if you need tires on your current vehicle, Honda of Lincoln is your best choice. Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, Jay Foreman, DP Austin Norman. The vortex is in full effect. It is growing. It is like
1,198.
There it is. It's almost doubled since this morning. I will say this: the one thing, this is just my opinion, is whatever. I think Nebraska, in some ways, is in a little bit of a tricky spot. Number one, you're 6-6, so that means when teams look at you, look at your talent. Okay, you've done something. First of all, you've made a bowl game, so something must be different, right? So that's number one. So then people will try to pluck off your roster. Example, Lane Kiffin already got a guy from Arkansas, got another guy from Bama. He's been working, so he's going to they go and pluck. But then also when you hadn't won and you do have which I call tangible success from a player perspective. I can't speak for any of the players. I could just say, just in my thought process, is that you have tangible success and you've been treated so well over there, as far as you get fanfare and all that other stuff and NIL and all that stuff. Now you can get brand new. So now you can now you think you can start looking. So that's where it's a little bit tricky. And then, obviously the appeal of the Vortex will never die down.
Can we accept that
the Vortex
that it's not that, in some cases, and I think you could break them down into thirds.
Mm-hmm.
Third of it is going for the most money. A third of it is going for the best opportunity. And a third of them just don't want to be where they are because of a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
That it may not be an appeal thing when it comes to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
That it may be, in some cases, it's an actual necessity for them to get out and change. And then let's also remember, in a lot of these cases, the coaches are already 1 foot out the door, or in some cases, they've already hit them with deuces, and they're already out. So if you're, Texter mentioned Marshall. When your coach bails, that entire roster has to stop, pause, and consider.
Right.
Marshall's an interesting one, though, because they Tim Miles'd him. They didn't fire him. He didn't leave. They just didn't offer him another contract.
So but I mean,
that's just wild what's going on with Charles.
Right.
Yeah, and if you're a player, how do you swallow that?
But that's a athletic director problem. That's not a coach's problem.
Right, but I mean, all of this, right? Because we now know that a lot of the transfer portal stuff isn't about the head coach. It's not about money. It's not even about the university. In some cases, it is, this dude just don't like me. Like, some assistant don't like me. Right? Can we be honest and say that exists?
I mean, there's a plenty of, but I will tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell people out there, and this is a harsh reality of sports. And I'm gonna tell this to any player out there. And I realize this, and I would never forget and I will not say who's told me this, but he said, listen, through your career, if you're lucky enough to play in the NFL, and this was told to me in college, right? Because I was asking, I was in college asking. He said, most likely, you're going to play for coaches that don't think you're very good. Mm-hmm. You're going to, right? Or a coach that you're going to play for a coach that doesn't think you're very good. And you might play for a long time for him. He's like, you'll play for a coach that doesn't like you, and it's unwarranted. Mm-hmm. He's like, you will play for a coach that constantly is not telling you the truth and telling you one thing, going to do another.
Say that part louder for the people in the back.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. You will play for a coach that doesn't like you because of your color of your skin. So, for instance, if you worried about being liked in this game of football, then you're not approaching it with the right mindset. Because, to be honest with you, as a player in college, I didn't like any of my coaches. I respected them. I like them now that I'm a grown man. I didn't like them. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to hang out with them. So this love affair of being liked and all that stuff, I don't understand it because I never thought of it like that.
But did your coaches respect you?
I could do. They respected my work. I could tell. There's coaches that didn't that crossed that line though.
I mean, look,
but we didn't have a chance to. We didn't have what. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is like all the things that you think that are happening, they will happen somewhere else in some form or fashion.
I played baseball in Virginia. And I'm not talking about Northern Virginia. I'm talking about Confederate Virginia. Right. And baseball back then, there weren't a lot of brothers who had crossed over into baseball. And so I knew all-star coaches weren't going to pick me. I knew that coaches weren't going to be familiar with guys who played the way I played because I played a speed game. I looked a certain way. And I knew that I was friction was going to be engaged. But I also knew that I was going to figure out a way to make you play me. Like, I'm going to make you play me.
There's always that figure it out, and I always say, like, deal with it or make the most of it till till they make you make a decision that you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand the situation and where you are in your career. Look, to be frank, like when I got down to Houston, listen, I'm in the pros now. Okay, so this is not like, don't think like for any player, don't think like it don't matter where you're at. It
never ends.
Right. So hey, look, I came in as a pretty much a late draft choice. Not pretty much. I was a late draft choice in Buffalo. Scratched and clawed my way onto the roster. Get out there and play. End up starting. End up continuing to start. New coaches come in, and Miles Aldridge, we end up being cool. But at the time, I ain't like him because he was like, man, I don't think you're very good. He said, matter of fact, I would rather play this person. And then I'll tell you this, and then proceeded to play him. All right. Now, how he played him was a little, when you get into training camp with a new coaching staff, it's different because they don't care about none of you. It's just like throw the ball out there and just see what you could do. But then finally he came up to, I said it, he came to me, I'm running the locker room before Pittsburgh. I'm still starting, but I know what he wants to do because he already told me beforehand. He said, listen, man, if you don't play good at night, I'm going to tell him to cut you. Now, mind you, I started for 3 years. Okay. The year before I led the team in tackles. All right. And tackles for loss. So don't think you so sweet that you're just one. And that's not minimizing anything. That's not saying that it's not a big deal to you. All I'm saying is this, at the highest level, it does happen. So then I get traded. How I got traded, that's already been in history. You get down there and mind you, the team traded for me. The coordinator was always looking, if you know Vic Fangio, he would throw some stuff over the bow to see if it hits. Right? Luckily enough, Reggie Herring believed in me, which why we were pretty so tight. So then he, kind of like safeguarded me from it. But then once he got tired of it, then them two went to battle for it. But then obviously by that time I was established. The point of the story is, however you get in the portal, my only advice is to you: if you get in the portal, if you make sure you're getting in there for the right reasons. Yeah. More importantly, are you talking to the right people?
Yeah,
that's number one.
Yep. Portal,
NIL. Are you talking to the right people?
And do you have people? Because
there's plenty of people. Are you talking to the right people?
Well, but you would have access, and somebody else on your team may not have the same access and resources that you do. Right? So your resource pool is different than player number 107 or player number 87.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That happens, and different people are reaching out to you. If you're player 47 or 27, it's a different conversation about why you're in the transfer portal and why you're communicating. At the bottom half of this thing, different conversations take place. You get tired of being a tackling dummy. Listen, if I got to go against that old black shirt defense and I'm getting banged up with the number 6 offensive line, guess what?
Yeah.
For my own greater good, I'm looking at this. Look, it might make more sense for me to not be running back number 12 here and be running back number 3 somewhere else, where guess what? I'm on the other side. I'm running behind the first line.
Yeah, there's always different, like backstories or whatever to how they get in the portal. It's just that, especially around here, you got a lot of people talking that don't know what they're talking about, and then you got to make sure you're doing it for the right reason.
Yeah.
And there's a business side and there's a playing side. You got to either separate the two or learn when they both intertwine. You almost have to take the emotions out of it. Because right now, the idea of connection and all that, and that, like I said, Nebraska's at a tricky spot. And so it's a little bit different. But the portal is way over 1,000. Princewell is number 1, according to 24/7. Then you go down to Big Game James is already 100% committed or whatever to Florida State. There's only really very few commits. 2 of them are Ole Miss. Jaheim Otis, D lineman from Alabama. He going to Ole Miss. I think that's a high school connection too from the coach and stuff. But there's a lot of,
And Nebraska has some opportunity with new coaches that some recruits and some transfers, folks who have been recruited along the way by these coaches,
and bring them in, yeah,
will come in and help this program. So what you lose sometimes, by subtraction, there's addition, and you can coach a different way, you can play a different way, you can do a bunch of things.
I mean, it's going to be. I don't even know like how you like. You're just going to constantly be scouring it, and I'm sure they got a lot of intel from their because a lot of these kids are previously recruited or obviously ranked before. So you just got to just check them out and check out what position of need and whatever's most important and see where they're at. It's just going to be interesting to.
And you got to talk to their coaches. You got to talk to their
45 days,
right? Like you, it's a short window to go and get the dirt, and you need the dirt. You need the dirt on a player. You'll be able to find the shine. That's the easy part. Oh, well, he had 6.5 sacks okay, but what kept him from being happy? What kept him from being the star? What kept him? Why is he answering my phone call?
Yeah, and what do they want?
Yeah.
Like what versus in trying to find out what do they really want? Is it because you thought you had a good year, you could get more, you don't have a good say financial situation with NIL wherever you're at, you want more opportunity, maybe you split time and you're on a good team, but you want to go somewhere and be a starter. Maybe it is that like DP said, you want to go and get carries, so you might have to go down and then you can level back up after you kind of really get a chance.
And you might want to go home. You might want to go home.
There is a
you
ton.
might want to go home. You might want to be closer to mom, sick relative, girlfriend. There's 100 reasons why you might want to be where you are, and not all of them are nefarious and venom based. Some of them are just simply, you know what? Give me the option. And I think I talked to you and Austin about that. Had this been available to me in college after my sophomore year, I would have gone back and played at Howard, simply because it was close to home, convenient. I would have been top of the lineup guy, and I could have played football too. And it had nothing to do with anything else. I wasn't dissatisfied. Yeah, I had an assistant coach who was a jerk. And as you said, he was a racist, and I knew he was a racist. When your coach shows up and shows you that his family was Klan.
I just think that it's just over time. I just look at football as just numbers. Like there's not going to be no situation is perfect. It's not. It's just humanly impossible.
Yeah.
So if you're fixated on it not being perfect, then you're making. Not saying that you don't make the decision that you might make, but you're making it with the wrong base. You got to look at, okay, where was I at last year versus where am I at now, and where I could be next year.
There really is imperfection, though, right, Jay?
There is imperfection. I mean, look at you got
nobody.
You got Georgia that just got the number 2 seed. Jesse Tuggleson's in there.
Yeah, like there literally is there's no perfect. There's nobody that would go, you know what? This is perfect. This is perfect.
No, and Nebraska's a little bit different. Obviously this weekend, look, man, it's you got the internet dudes out here trying to take stories out there. You got to be very careful doing that. So that's, to me, that's low class. Now, if supposedly you got the okay, I highly doubt it, but taking conversations to the internet or trying to, I guess, profit by clicks off of these kids look, they're in a very, very vulnerable situation at the time, right? Say like the defensive line and the defensive, look, they're 2 leaders, or at least 2 of the 4 leaders have just taken other jobs, so they're vulnerable. And then if you try to profit off it, whether it's clicks or money or whatever, you're that's that. I don't agree with it. You got to do whatever you need to do. All I'm saying is, for the players, if I would talk to the players, if you're looking for perfection in this world of imperfections, in this whole world, you're going about it the wrong way. If you're trying to get a better situation, whether it's solely financially or solely playing time or a combination of both, then you go from there. But it just never will be perfect, because nobody's perfect out there. But anyways, we'll take a quick break, come back. Man, this thing keeps growing and growing. What do you think the number will be? Do you think the first week will be the most?
No. I think the Monday after or the Tuesday after the Monday night championship game, that's when it goes buck wild.
By those guys, by those teams,
because they have the highest value. They will have national championship players have the greatest value because, as you say, your greatest asset is your work.
Yeah, well, and they've been seeing the you know, you got
more eyes too, more opportunities. You've had 2 more weeks of practice than everybody else.
Yeah, at least
more
at least you won't be out of shape.
Yep. Well, hey, all of that true, right?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. Quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to HuskerFanTravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or HuskerFanTravel.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with breezy northwest winds and a high around 51. Tonight, partly cloudy with a continued breeze in the low near 24. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies will be breezy with a chance of flurries late and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. 2 hours go back quick. The portal speeds up time, and it speeds up the amount of entries. In there, but it'll definitely grow by tomorrow and continue to grow all the way up to the 45th day. 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds left. We'll continue to grow, and hopefully, ideally, everybody that goes in the portal can find a home. But obviously, that won't be the outcome. But obviously, the bias case, you want Nebraska to be able to do what they got to do and get the best. And wish them all the luck.
What does that do for like Nebraska Wesley?
Well, it just depends on how many players want to go in close proximity. I guess from what you're saying from Nebraska, is you'll be able to, level up that type of playing.
Northern
Iowa, the Kearneys, the Wayne States, and all that. You'll be able to really, make some hay. So look, man, it's a great opportunity for a lot of these kids to potentially find a new home. It's a great opportunity for some of these lower level schools to have an influx of talent, but ultimately when you get there, you got to make sure that whatever you're doing at whatever place you're at, you got to make sure you take that there and then some, because you are going to a new place. You do have to reestablish yourself. No matter what they tell you, you have to establish yourself at a new place. So wish them all the good luck, and good luck coming here. And obviously, look, the 105 is the 105. It will happen. However, you need to get there. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll holler at you on Wednesday.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. You